With 2021 being such an Aquarian year, your third house has been getting a lot of action. This is the place of the moon's joy. For that reason, last year was likely a year of many fleeting adventures and instability. However, as much as 2022 is still focused on the fixed signs, this year makes up for the last with the greater benefit Jupiter's ingress into your fourth house. You can be grateful since the many quick journeys of 2021 have all been leading to this year's establishment of your comfort and home. Before we get to the good news, the year starts on a Venus retrograde that could delay some collaborations for some of the Sagittarius out there. Primarily if you work with many people, this transit happening in the house that represents how you earn money can make things a little rocky. This is especially important for the freelancers who rely on many different people as their source of income. It may be a bit challenging to work out business agreements, so if you can wait, February looks a lot more promising when it comes to the collection of goods. Still, with Jupiter in your fourth house, your home life will make up for any stresses that may arise during the retrograde. This transit that lasts for the first quarter of the year brings good fortune and comfort. Since Pisces is a fellow mutable sign, that means that if you have any planets in your first and seventh house, the great benefic is more than willing to lend a helping hand when it comes to your personal development and relationships. In March, we have the first Uranus and Mars square happening between your sixth and third houses. The long and slow Uranus transit through your sixth house has likely caused some instability when it comes to your health and general well-being, so this transit will be one to pay attention to. It would be best to avoid any trips during the month since combining these two planets can make you prone to accidents. However, the third house is the house of short trips, so if you're planning on going on a distant voyage, you'd likely be unaffected by the transit. Still, it would be wise to reschedule any trips to your friend's place in the neighboring state or province. All that doom and gloom doesn't last for long, however. Jupiter and Venus will be conjunct in Venus' degree of exaltation. That's perhaps the most auspicious transit we've had in quite a while, so it will come to remediate any of your sorrows, Sagittarius. This is happening in your fourth house, still, so the idea of comfort will be magnified to an extreme in April. With both of these luxurious planets coming in together, it would be a great time to throw a house party and maybe even a housewarming party. The chances for a new home never looked better. Since Jupiter is also the planet of monetary abundance, it could also be a good time to invest in real estate. In April, the world is your oyster, Sagittarius. After leaving Pisces with a bang, Jupiter will continue to track along and arrive at your fifth house in Aries. In ancient astrology, this specific house is known as the right place. This is where parties, excitement, and new life begin. This is a transit that will bring a considerable amount of good times to your life. It lasts all the way into the earlier half of 2023, so you know you're in for an exhilarating journey. This will be the year to start new projects. Aries as the first sign of the Zodiac is excellent for new beginnings, so don't be shy and go for your loftiest dreams. After such a glorious month, the ebb and flow of life take us back to a challenging late summer and fall. We start with triple conjunction between Mars, Uranus, and the North Node happening in your sixth house. Like mentioned before, this is the house of health, and like so, you should be extra careful during this transit. August is definitely not the month for recklessness. This can also pose some challenges at work, especially when it comes to being recognized for your efforts. If you have Jupiter or Venus in your second house in your natal chart, the effects of this transit could be considerably alleviated. However, it's still good to be careful and mentally prepare yourself for a somewhat rough month. The bad astrological weather continues with a final Uranus and Saturn square for the next few decades. This was the transit responsible for much of the challenges of 2021. But, with this one being the last, it's likely coming to tend to unfinished business from last year. Since this is happening with a focus in your third house, it could mean some issues with your education or the release of a new project. This house also deals with fraternal relationships, so if you had any problems with your siblings in the year that just passed, some of those themes could come back for a rerun. This is not the most extended transit, so it only presents a few days of discomfort and power struggles. However, after all of that commotion, things do calm down considerably for the latter quarter of the year. The one major transit is the Jupiter retrograde that sends the benefic back into your fourth house. This is a transit that brings forth a great sense of nostalgia, especially since it lines up almost perfectly with the time when Jupiter first ingressed into your 4th house. Jupiter will give you a nice break from all of the drama from the fall, and it will likely bless you with a good holiday season, with minimal to no family drama. This sums up the year rather nicely as we ready to go into 2023, which will be a whole new territory compared to 21 and 22. No more Saturn and Uranus to cause tragedy and a world of opportunities ahead. With that in mind, make the best out of 2022. It won't be coming back anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please give us a thumb up if you liked the video. Subscribe our YouTube channel not to miss the next video horoscope. Visit our website go-to-horoscope.com where you can find actual horoscope for today. Download our apps from Google Play and App Store to have your daily horoscope always on hand.